Travel on to South Queensferry, passing the House of the Binns, home of Tam Dalyell, a Labour MP for over 42 years and as the longest-serving Member of Parliament, known as the Father of the House of Commons. The house is open to the public and in the hands of the National Trust. His ancestor and namesake, General Tam Dalyell, was Commander-in-Chief of Scotland at the time of Charles II. He was ruthless in his persecution of the Covenanters, later imprisoned in the Tower of London, only to escape the country and subsequently commanded the Tsar's armies in Russia. A short distance on is the grand mansion of Hopetoun House. Its setting, architecture and contents combine to make it one of Scotland's greatest houses. The house is approached along the shore of the Forth as we enter the town of South Queensferry. This entrance was first used as a result of the foot and mouth outbreak of a few years ago, and has remained open ever since. Whilst you do wonder what lies ahead as you pick your way through the suburbs of the town, the Gate Lodge opens up the private and privileged world of this, the grandest of stately homes. The ha-ha is very clear, a hidden wall and ditch which keeps the grazing stock away from the manicured lawns but is unseen from the house, giving the appearance of a large expanse of grass with very well-trained livestock seemingly staying clear of the gardens. The house is the work of the most famous architects in the country, Sir William Bruce, William Adam and his sons John and Robert. Hopetoun is actually portrayed on Adam's tomb, which we visit at Greyfriars Kirk. Started in 1699 for the first Earl of Hopetoun, who was ennobled at the early age of 22 by King James II, as John Hope, the Earl's father, is said to have saved the life of the king in a shipwreck in 1682 when John himself was drowned. The Hope family are said to have arrived from France in the service of Madeleine de Valois, Queen of James V. King George IV visited General Sir John Hope, the third Earl, in 1822, and knighted Sir Henry Raeburn, the portrait painter, at Hopetoun. The seventh Earl and first Marquess of Linlithgow was the first Governor-General of Australia, and the second Marquess, Viceroy and Governor-General of India. The third Marquess won the Military Cross and was Lord Lieutenant of West Lothian. The name Hopetoun was formerly attached to the village of Lead Hills on the vast estates of the Hopes and transferred here. The estate today is still run by the present Marquess, whilst the house was transferred to a charitable trust some years ago. Open to the public during the spring and summer, the sheer scale and beauty of Hopetoun has to be seen to be fully appreciated. Originally, Thomas Bouch started work on the rail bridge. Part of his first pier still survives, but work was halted after the collapse of his earlier Tay Bridge. The Tay Bridge disaster is discussed in greater detail in the adjoining Kingdom of Fife title. The rail bridge cost over £3 million in 1890 and used 50,000 tonnes of steel, and also cost in real terms with the loss of 67 workers. It's in the Guinness Book of Records as the longest floodlit rail bridge in the world. Inchcombe Island is also clearly visible. Founded in 1123 by King Alexander I, this is home to the remains of the best preserved grouping of monastic buildings to survive in Scotland. South Queensferry is named after Queen, later Saint, Margaret, who would regularly cross the Forth here en route from the then capital, Dunfermline. The ferry plied across the river for over 800 years until its last crossing was made by Her Majesty the Queen in 1964. The Forth Road Bridge then superseded the ferry with a suspension bridge 1.5 miles long with towers more than 500 feet high. It was the longest suspension bridge in Europe. First mooted in 1923, the bridge, at a cost of £20 million, took 6 years to build.